What's up, guys? Let's get into some real talk. Right now, let's get into it. Alright, guys, welcome back to the channel. We get on the grind and improve your mind. So in this video, we're going to go into my life a little bit, into my personal life, into this new job I'm doing, and let's talk about how I'm overcoming the struggles in this new job and how this can help you. So, a little bit of background. I'm in this new department of this company, which will not be named for obvious reasons. And I'm working on tires now, so this is new for me, right? Because I'm a guy. I have more of a salesperson personality than a hands-on, I guess, personality. Like when people work on stuff, because some people, like some men, are good for like building roads, building bridges. Some guys just want to be with their hands, and they build stuff that makes society what it is. And then you have other people like me, I'm more of a sales kind of guy. I'm more of the talker. I'm more like, hey, you want to buy this? Want to buy this now? Buy now? Buy now? So that's kind of more my personality. So what I did was I chose to take this job because I believe on this channel that every man needs to dive into all kinds of topics, especially as a man, and needs to be experienced in different sort of areas of life. So I took this job with the knowledge that I didn't know what I was going to be doing. I didn't know what I was going to go into. I didn't know what was going to happen. But I took it so I can learn a new skill, which is working on tires on cars. Because I don't really know much. I don't know anything about cars. So for me, going into this field, into this job, I'm not really the most experienced one. In fact, I am literally the underdog of the team because I'm coming in here, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to put tires on. I mean, I changed a tire once, a long time ago, whatever. But I'm not really that experienced when it comes to this kind of topic. So I'm coming in, new fish, I don't know anything. I'm going to ask for help a lot of the times. I'm going to have to adapt, to survive, to get this money, to excel at this job in particular. So that's one of the reasons I took it, not simply just because I wanted to try something new, because I knew I needed a new challenge, and it was interesting to take this challenge. That way it can make me more of a hardened mind, and I can learn a new skill that could help me later in life. Also because cars are obviously important, and we need to know things about cars in case something bad happens. So it's a good skill to learn in general, which is one of the reasons I took it. So I took it, and it's not the easiest thing, and I've been having trouble with it, which is to be expected. You have to go into these things knowing that there's going to be challenges ahead, there's going to be obstacles and to quit. And the thing that made it even more interesting is that when I took this job, someone else also took the job as well. And within 2 days, this individual, they quit the job already. After 2 days, that's all it took. They said, listen, I can't do this. This is too much. I don't want to do it. I'm just going to stay where I'm at in life. So they decided to stay. So in hearing this, and I didn't even start yet, I heard about this and I was like, oh, it's kind of a wake-up call. Like, not everybody's going to make it into a job like this. Not everybody's going to survive going into it. So that just made the tension even higher. So now I'm coming into this thing that other people can't do and then people back out of. So now it's even more of a challenge that I have to go in there and do the best I can. Many of you have this challenge too. You go into a new job and you're very scared. A lot of people live in fear. Now, there's a difference. There's the people who have fear, but they attack anyway. And then there's the people that they have the fear and it consumes them. And instead of attacking their challenges, they back away and move away to something that's more easier. I think in life, you need to go into things that really test your skills as a man. It tests your mentality. It tests what you can take. Now that guy simply couldn't handle it. It's all good. He'll stay where he's at. He just simply couldn't handle the aspect that comes with the job, because when it comes to tires and stuff, there's so many things that go into it. There's balancing tires, mounting tires, knowing how to lift cars up, taking them off, putting them on, rotations, all that kind of stuff. There's many things that go into it that people don't even really realize. It's physical labor. It's also mental labor, because you have to know certain things and procedures that are done. So for some, we'd rather just take the easy stuff and then there's others that want to pursue these kinds of things. So the tension was high going in there. I already knew it was going to be hard because this other guy backed out. So whoa. So it's not going to be the easiest thing in the world. And I knew this going in, that it's going to be a little bit of a challenge. But at this channel, we promote accepting challenges and attacking them and becoming better as a result, which is exactly what I'm doing at this moment. This is something that's going on in my actual life, something I'm sharing with you guys, something to take note of and to take inspiration from, and to actually know that times are going to get tough, and when that happens, you need to keep going. So right now, I've been there about a month, and a month later, I'm still struggling to get a hold of some of these skills and to get the procedures going. I'm becoming a little bit better as every day goes on, but it's still a challenge now. Another thing is asking for help. So when I don't know something, I ask a supervisor or someone that's better than me, or someone that's been there like 20 years, that so I bring them over. Hey, does this look right? Hey, what do you think about this? Hey, should I do this? Hey, Now, it could be very hard for some to ask for help constantly, but me, I always try to look for mentors and people to make me into a better person, someone that can teach you. Many of you guys out there are very afraid to ask for help. You shouldn't be, because when you're going into a field like working with cars, you're not going to know a lot of things when you first go in there. So it's very important to know to ask for help when you need it. And you might feel bad because I ask a lot for help. Like, it'll probably get annoying to a certain extent, but you have to do it because you need to get help when you don't know something, and that's how it is. So, one of the things that's helped me is constantly asking for help, knowing how it, and over time, as you keep repetition, you just keep doing it, that eventually you start to adapt. It takes a certain mindset to be able to do these kind of things and to adapt to this sort of lifestyle. Many will not do it not because they can't, but because they do not allow themselves to take up the opportunity and the challenge to do it. So my thing is, I got to keep going. I got to keep getting it. That's one of the things that's keeping me there right now. Even though I sort of mess up in some areas and some aspects, the thing that keeps me going is that I keep trying. I show up every day. I do the job. I keep trying over and over and over until I master it. That's one of the things that's missing in our society today. Is people give up way too easily. I can't give up because I can't be a bitch. I can't go in there, and I don't want to waste their time too, because they took all these supervisors and people. They're using up all this time training me. So it'd be a dickhead move for me to use up all that time and then just leave. Like, oh, I quit after like a month. Like, no, we need to keep going. We need to adapt to survive. It's a very powerful trait to have, to keep going no matter what. You just have to sort of understand and push yourself sometimes that it's going to be okay. I got this. I got this. You have to constantly, it's a mental battle. You have to always tell yourself, I got this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. You have to keep going, because most of the time it's just your mind. It's you versus yourself, and your mind is usually telling you, oh, we should just give up right now. It's all good. Just give up. But no, you have to keep pushing through that fear and attack it as well, because eventually you will adapt. You'll get better as long as you have the right attitude about it. You have to have the right mindset, the right goals, and get into it. And sometimes things are going to go wrong. Things can go very wrong, but it's how you handle it that really determines what kind of person you are. Are you the kind of person that takes a little criticism and you give up and you say no? Because, I had a 30-day review after like 30 days. So I've been a little more than a month, and it was rough. They were like, hey, you're not doing good in this, you're not doing good in this, you have to improve in that. But they did say that you do have a good attitude, though, which is why we're going to keep letting you try and get better. Slowly I'm progressing. It's like a ladder. You keep getting a little bit better. So they acknowledge that I am struggling with a lot of concepts when it comes to the tires and the procedures and the way things are done. And I'm not that confident with it yet, which I'm not. I'm still learning. I'm still a student. Like we all are. We're all students of life. We all have to get a little bit better. But they did note that they do respect the attitude that I keep trying to get better. I always show up. I'm always friendly with everyone. Because that's what I am. I'm a social creature. I have to go out. I have to make a good impression. Because reputation is very important. Don't you forget that. When I come in, I always have a good attitude. I was like, yeah, we're going to do this. What do you need me to do? I'm going to do it. And because I want time to go by faster, so I'm just going to keep working at it. So they do respect the attitude, which is one of the reasons why they're keeping me. And they're not going to give up on training me, because they know that they see the potential that I see in myself as well. Which is another thing, is many of you do not see the potential in yourselves. And when you don't see that potential, you allow yourself to give up on the thing you're trying to do, and that makes you weak, it makes you pathetic, and you need to stop that immediately. You need to attack and conquer it, because that's what we do as humans. We take over things, we conquer, and we get better at it. So during this 30-day review, is more like, oh, you just need to work on all of these things. We like the attitude, but you still need to work harder. You need to get a little bit better at it. They didn't really hold back, which is good. I like that. I got a little bit of a harsh criticism that I need to get better. And what did I do? I took it, I understood it, I reflected upon it, and now I'm going to use that information and the critiques that I have gotten to become better with that, so I can become better at this skill and improve it even more. So now I'm going to even go harder. Now I'm going to even try to go in there. I'm going to try to be a little more confident. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to attack. I'm going to try to get the procedures done as it's supposed to be done. And I'm going to get in there, and I'm going to learn this skill no matter what, because that's what you do. You don't give up. You keep trying. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to try to just do it on my own, ask less questions, and try to understand more, pay attention to details, try to get procedures right. No matter what, it's about persistence, and it's about trying to just keep going, get a little bit better every single day, and eventually you will adapt to the process. So I'm going to take that information, and I'm going to get a little bit better, which is a very powerful thing. And, you're going to make mistakes, and mistakes will happen when you enter a new job, into a new life. But it's natural to learn from that and not let it deter you, but let it motivate you to keep going and learn from the mistakes you've made. So it's a very important skill to be able to have this kind of mindset, because most people do not. They will give up, and they don't even like the sound of hard labor or actually going out and do something and learning a skill, because many people are afraid to fail. You must fail. I'm failing almost every day. I'm having trouble putting a tire on. Maybe a lug nut gets stuck in the thing with a drill. right? I'm failing at all kinds of little things, but I try to learn from that and not take it too harsh on myself and quit. I just keep going until I master the skill, and that's what makes you into a better person, is when you take these challenges and you utilize it to make you into a better person. And that's what makes you into a more better person overall, and that will reflect on who you're around and having good guidance and everything. And there's nothing wrong with asking questions to people who are superior to you. Do not let the ego get in the way of allowing you to ask other people questions that are better than you, because there's always someone better than you at something. So you can't allow the ego to completely take over. And I know that everyone in that entire place is more better than me. I acknowledge that. I completely acknowledge that. I go to them for help when I must, and I try to become a little bit better every single day, because I'm still the new fish. I'm still the young blood in the group, so I'm still trying to get a little bit better every day. So this is definitely a lesson for you guys to take note of and learn from. And it's very powerful, because a lot of you guys are going into certain situations and you give up on it very easily and you let the fear consume you rather than attack it. With life, you need to understand that life is a growing process and you have to keep going every single day. So I'm taking this experience from me and passing it on to you guys so you could take this information and know that, listen, things are going to happen, life goes on, you need to keep pushing anyway. It does not matter. Just you have to keep going and try to become a better version of yourself every single day.
You have to go into, when you go into a skill that you have no idea what you're doing, that you have just barely any basic knowledge of it, you need to take everyone's criticisms to heart, and you need to see what you can do to improve. When I was working at a specific job where, I knew certain things, but I didn't know everything, and I wanted to learn more, I was always with my superiors, and I was always asking them questions like, okay, so if I was going to do X, should I do this with that? Should I do Y with Z? Or should I do Z with W? And they're like, oh, do it like this. And then they'd show me what I should do, and I pick it up immediately. And I follow through with that. And if I'm doing something specific and a superior sees me and they see that I can improve on something, they come over to me immediately and they're like, hey, listen, what you were doing was fine, but this is the way that we should be doing it, or per standards or whatever, and this is the way that you should be doing it as well. I'm like, okay, cool, show me what you're talking about, and I will follow along. And so with me, it's easy to follow along with what other people show me. Some people don't always have that ability, but there's ways that you can still learn. Andrew might not fully have that. He might have it slowly, because sometimes, especially when you go into something completely blind, it's hard to really pick things up. But if you at least understand some things already, then it's easier to get through. And so people that have both of these types of reactions, they can't just give up on certain things when they feel like they messed up something. An example would be like, let's say if you were in a deli and you were working and you barely know how to use, let's say, a slicer, and you accidentally cut yourself. You can't just give up and be like, oh, I cut myself, I'm gonna get fired, but if you don't get fired, and be like, oh, I'm embarrassed, this. You don't let that fear of all these bad things prevent you from learning from the mistakes that you've made. You need to make sure that when things happen, bad things happen in this scenario, you need to take everything that people give you, and you need to learn from the mistakes, and you need to learn and push on and do better things. That's what humans do. We make mistakes, we learn from those mistakes, and we show it in real time. And we prove that we have learned from the things that we've done wrong in the past. And that's what everyone should do with jobs, with relationships, with everything. Dealing with this in a job scenario can be tough, because you could be afraid that you're going to lose your job.
Which I am every day,
yeah.
Actually. This is actually very true.
Yeah, you could, at any moment, you could lose your job if you fuck up, right? But the thing is that don't be afraid to fuck up, but don't be reckless about it. You need to ask questions. That's the point of having superiors and people who are above you, like supervisors or managers or whatever. You go to them and you ask them questions all the time. You want to learn it. Like what Andrew was saying, the attitude. When they said that he has a good attitude, yeah, he does, and they can see, because I know from a managerial perspective that they see that he works hard. He might not get it, but he's not giving up like other people have, and so they see the potential in that, and they want to mold him, but they can't baby him. They have to let him do it on his own, but give him the pointers and the tips when they can. And so it's really up to Andrew now to really take that and go and attack it as hard as he can and learn everything that he can from the mistakes that he makes, from the tips that his superiors give him, and from learning everything in general from also his peers. And once you, especially people who are watching this video, if you are struggling with like something specifically like this in a job scenario, you can learn from everyone around you in your whatever your department that you're working in or whatever it is specifically. Yeah, everyone works in something different. You can learn from other people. If you have questions, you always ask. You always learn from others. You learn from just experiencing, and you just do it.
Even at the time of the recording of this video, I'm still not that good at this job. I'm still struggling in certain areas, but I'm getting a little bit better every day. There is hope at the light at the end of the tunnel. I am adapting. I'm slowly. It's a work in progress, something like this. It's a whole new world, but I'm slowly getting in there. At this moment, I'm still not too good at it, but there is improvements, and it is getting a little bit better. A little less questions, a little more I know what I'm doing. So the moral is just keep going. You're going to get it eventually. If you just keep trying, persistence, work over time in your mind, try to get in there and try to make the best of it. And, just keep a high head about it and just try to, understand that you're going to make mistakes and things are going to happen, but it's what you do that defines you. It makes you a little bit stronger. You can choose to keep going, and you can choose to get a little bit better and conquer the day. So, if you guys like this content and enjoy my crazy personal life stuff, make sure you hit that like button and also subscribe to the channel if you have not already. You can also donate to the Cash App, which goes towards the equipment for this channel. And with that said, we're going to see you guys in the next video. Leave a comment below on your experience as well. See you guys next time.